everyone, my name is Shauna in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. I don't know what happened with my makeup today and I can't stop staring at how bad my makeup is, but we're just gonna ignore that and crack on into the content of today's video. If you've been around on my channel for a while, you know that I've read the Mortal Instruments series and that I watched the Shadowhunter series and I had a lot of thoughts on it. Well, I finished watching City of Bones. And I know what you're gonna say, how did you finish watching it? What do you mean you finished watching it? It's a movie, didn't you watch it in one sitting? Actually, in 2016 when I first got into the world of the Mortal Instruments, I read the first book and immediately was like, great, I need to watch the movie. I watched the movie and I had to quit halfway through. I literally quit in the garden scene right before the first kiss. I couldn't do it anymore. I could not do it. I was struggling. So basically the reason why I decided to try and give this another chance is, first of all, I have to finish every movie that I start, so it sort of haunted me that I never finished this movie. The other thing is, I'm meeting Jamie Campbell Bower at Emerald City Comic Con, assuming that he doesn't cancel. I'm just saying that because celebrities cancel all the time at cons like these. Now, Jamie is in like a ton of stuff that I like he's in Harry Potter, he's in Fantastic Beasts, he's in Stranger Things, he's in Twilight. He's in so many of the big sagas that I'm obsessed with, but I was thinking about my cosplays and I was like, which one fits with him that would make the most sense? And I have Stranger Things, obviously, I have Twilight, I have Fantastic Beasts, I have Harry Potter cosplays, but I was like, you know who I want to do? I want to do Clary because I have a Clary cosplay based off of Clary from the TV show. Picture will be inserted right here. And I was like, I'm just gonna do Clary because truthfully, I do like Jamie as Jace. The rest of this movie, let's talk about this. My biggest problem with this film, and the reason why I couldn't finish watching it when I was a teen, is that Jamie is the only actor who fits the character from the book. And for me, The Mortal Instruments is a very character-driven book. I mean, if it wasn't a character-driven book, I would have quit after book one because of the whole sibling thing. So it's a very character-driven book for me, so the series is very character-driven. So watching a movie where the actors don't fit the characters does not work for me at all. The biggest issue that I had was Alec and Izzy. No, those actors that they cast are great actors, probably. I haven't seen anything else that they've been in, and I don't want to like hate on the actors. I think the casting was a poor decision. It was definitely a poor decision. And there's a whole plot line in The Mortal Instruments where Alec has had feelings for Jace. He has feelings for Jace. It's a big plot line. This Alec is not believable that he had any sort of feelings for Jace. So that really irked me. I can't even convince myself that he's gay. So that was a problem for me, considering that it was a huge plotline for me. And because of that, I also saw no chemistry between Magnus and Alec at all. And honestly, my favorite part about the Mortal Instruments series, beyond Simon, because I love Simon as a character, is Magnus and Alec. I love their relationship and it really carried the series for me. So it was disappointing that I don't feel any chemistry in this movie. The only character who legitimately fit the book description for me is Jamie Campbell Bower as Jace. I'm not saying that I love Jace in this film. I have never been a big Jace fan, honestly. In the TV series, that actor wasn't the best fit for Jace in my opinion. Like, a dream cast would be, we get good budget, we get good writing, which both of these don't have, if I'm being honest. And then we have the TV show casting for most of the characters, but we have movie Jace. Movie Jace and show Clary, however, the rest of the casting was not great. Jamie and a lot of the cast did great to the extent that they could with this film. The writing was not great. There was a lot of cheesy and cliche dialogue that was very much a product of its time. There's a lot of cliched lines that you think of with young adult paranormal romance, especially in the 2010s, that were heavily in this film. Because the writing wasn't great, it made most of the acting feel very stiff and unnatural. The only character where the acting I felt was pretty good, for me at least, was Simon's actor, and I know him from Umbrella Academy, so I know he's an incredible actor. Simon really carried this film for me. I think it would have been unwatchable if he wasn't in the film. Now, does he meet the book description for me? Absolutely not. He doesn't fit the book description for me. He doesn't do anything for the book. Honestly, in my opinion, I really liked Albert as Simon in the TV series. I think that was done really well. So he wasn't exactly perfect to the book, but he did carry the film, especially since he got a lot of the jokes in the film. His acting was probably the best in this film, in my opinion. I said that the dialogue and writing was a product of its time, and I wanted to go back to that topic because I think this film as a whole is a product of its time. It very much fits in with the 2010s paranormal young adult romance genre that we saw a lot of in that era. There's a lot of other young adult films that I really liked in the 2010s that I watch now and I'm like, they were a product of their time. It comes down to the dialogue, it comes down to the characterization, a lot of similar characterization, it follows a lot of the same plot lines, a lot of the love triangle stuff. Like, there's so many tropes and ideas that very much date it as a 2010s film. The films that really stand out in the 2010s, the ones that are so good that I still love them, I'm still obsessed with them, I watch them and I'm like, these are timeless, are ones that sort of break out of this mold. They might use the mold briefly, but they really have their own twist to it and their own just unique features to it that make it stand out, and I didn't feel like this film had that. Like, if I watched this in 30 years, I would go, yeah, this is a bit a product of its time. It very fits in the 2010s. I like those films where you watch it and you can't tell when exactly it was released because it is so timeless with the way that it was written and created. But I didn't get that with this film at all. I was talking earlier about accuracies to the book. The one thing I will give this film is that in terms of the plot and the world building, it was definitely a lot more accurate to the books than the TV show was. The TV show had a lot of creative decisions that made it differ from the books that I didn't agree with. For example, what happened with Clary's mom in the Shadowhunters TV series didn't happen in the book, and I feel that that was a poor choice to make. So I'm glad that at least the plot and the world building felt a lot closer to the book. Honestly, I wish that there was another chance to have something from the Shadowhunters universe be made into a TV show or film. I honestly don't think it should be Mortal Instruments anymore. I think we've had 2 chances with Mortal Instruments and both of them sort of biffed. Obviously there was no sequel to the City of Bones movie, and Shadowhunters didn't quite finish and ended an odd decision, I'll say that. I think that we need one of the other series to be adapted. I haven't read the other series, but the reason that I'm saying this is because the world building and the idea of Shadowhunters is a solid idea. Cassandra Clare is fantastic at creating interesting characters. The problem with the Mortal Instruments, beyond the fact that we've had 2 attempts at trying to bring this to the screen, is the whole sibling thing does not age well. It was something that was yucky when I was a teen, and looking back, it is grosser than I thought it was, especially because if you don't know this about Cassandra Clare, before Cassandra Clare wrote the Mortal Instruments series and got it published, she wrote a fanfiction called The Mortal Instruments. This fanfiction was a Harry Potter fanfiction, and I have read bits and pieces of it, but I can't bring myself to read the whole thing because it grosses me out that much. Given the fanfiction, it makes me and other people wonder if the whole sibling plotline of the Mortal Instruments has a deeper meaning to it, and that it wasn't some quirky little conflict to create in the story, but something different, because it doesn't make sense why the author would write this fanfiction between Ron and Ginny and then write the plotline in her book in which characters think that they're siblings but still are pining over each other while they think that they're siblings, even though technically it's not incest. There is incest in the Mortal Instruments, but it is not between Jace and Clary. I have 2 other things to say briefly about this movie. The soundtrack holds up really well. The soundtrack was excellent. Is it a product of its time? A little bit, but I don't really care. I love epic, intense soundtracks that fit very moody vibes for films, and I would say that the soundtrack was done really, really well in this film. The only other thing that I have to say is I want to comment on the CGI a little bit. The CGI was interesting to me because some of the scenes that I felt like the CGI should have been done really well on, the CGI was very lackluster and looked cheesy, but some of the scenes that weren't important, that didn't even need to be included in the film, had some excellent CGI, like Clary cleaning up her apartment at the end of the film. Why was so much budget and time put into that CGI, but CGI in the rest of the film wasn't as well developed? If I'm making any sense. I just question the choices of why they chose some to have excellent, well-developed CGI for, and why some it felt like they were just trying to skim over it and rush it out. Maybe it was just because they started running out of time at the end of editing the film. I'm not sure. I just have some questions about the CGI. I mean, I've been into a lot of 2010s paranormal romance movies and shows, so I've seen worse. I'm just saying I'm questioning the decisions a little bit on the ones that they chose to be the most well-developed and the ones that they chose to just sort of skim over and just do the bare minimum for. So overall, if I had to rate City of Bones out of 5 stars, the movie, I would give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. I didn't enjoy it, but it isn't god-awful. if that makes any sense. There was some things going for it, it just is not up to my personal taste. I think maybe if I hadn't read the book and known about the book, this movie would have been decent. But for me, the characters are just so different from the book that the movie didn't really work for me. So that was really all for the content of today's video. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. If you're interested in the Mortal Instruments series, I do recommend reading the books. The TV show and the movies can't compare to the books. The books are phenomenal. The movie and the show, a little bit garbage, not gonna lie. Not saying that there isn't good parts to it, but they're not that great of adaptations. And I love most book to movie adaptations. That's an unpopular opinion. So when I'm like, hey, I don't like this book to movie adaptation, it is not great. There's a lot of adaptations out there that people absolutely hate that I love because I love most of them. I just can't look past the characters not feeling like themselves in the movie, if that makes any sense. I try and upload a video here on my YouTube channel at least once a week, and when I'm not uploading longer videos, I upload cosplay videos on my YouTube channel every day that a longer video doesn't go up. So that equals 6 cosplay videos every week and 1 longer video every week, so feel free to stick around to watch more content like this one. If there's any book to movie adaptations, especially ones that you know that I read the book for, that you want to hear my opinions on the adaptations, feel free to let me know. I would love to do more about this because I love book to movie adaptations, book to TV show adaptations, and I love comparing the book to the adaptation and seeing whether it holds up and seeing whether you can find some enjoyment in it even if it's different than the book. Anyways, I hope all of you are having a great week, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Until next time, everyone, goodbye.